Welcome, my friends. My name is Johnny Vedmore, and I'm an Epstein expert. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't only selling weapons to Iranians, he wasn't only grooming potential Democratic Party leadership hopefuls, and he wasn't only collaborating with Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Peter Thiel to design and implement the Technocratic Panopticon. Epstein was also part of a consortium of elite Democratic Party funders who were looking to control significant parts of the New York-based media. This is Epstein List Number 6, Epstein's Democratic Media Alliance. First up today, Harvey Weinstein. The convicted pervert, producer, Democratic donor, swanky party organizer, and plant pot wanker joined together with Jeffrey Epstein in 2003 as part of a media consortium. This consortium wanted to purchase the New York magazine, which had recently run the infamous article, Jeffrey Epstein, International Money Man of Mystery. Knowing what we know now, this was probably a clandestine effort to catch and kill negative articles which exposed the dealings of the wealthy New York elite perverts who had been busily abusing their positions to assault men, women, and children depending on their tastes. When Harvey Weinstein's plant pot wanking was revealed to the general public, he employed Epstein's victim's lawyer, David Boies, to represent him. David Boies had been communicating with Epstein during the period the consortium was bidding for the New York magazine. In Bradley Edwards' book, Relentless Pursuit, which he should have entitled Relentless Bollocks, Edwards noted that the FBI search records showed a message from Boies to Epstein asking for him to return his call. Weinstein has since been totally exonerated of all charges. No, I'm now being informed that Harvey Weinstein is still a dirty pervert who wanks on water lilies. Next up, Michael Wolff. Michael Wolff was also part of the perverted consortium which bid for the New York magazine alongside Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Wolff was a member of Edge while it was 100% funded by Jeffrey Epstein. In 2018, Wolff published Fire and Fury Inside Trump's White House, which painted Trump's administration as chaotic, followed in 2021 by Landslide, The Final Days of the Trump Presidency, which also weaved an unflattering image of Trump's first term. He has most recently tried to reframe his relationship with Epstein by releasing supposedly secret tape conversations he had with the intelligence-linked money man. Next up, Ron Burkle. In 2002, Epstein and Bill Clinton were Africa-bound on the billionaire sex offender's Lolita Express party plane. On board the dodgiest plane in history during this trip was the American businessman and co-founder of the UK Companies LLC, Ronald Wayne Burkle. The UK Company is an American private investment firm which Burkle formed in 1986 while he was in his mid-30s. Burkle has many close associations with weird and controversial characters, something that has caused speculation surrounding the billionaire in the past. A 2006 New York Times article described the wealthy businessman Burkle. Mr. Burkle, a kingmaker in California political circles and a confidant of former Governor Gray Davis, has also been loyal supporter of Mr. Clinton and former Vice President Al Gore, who both now have business relationships with him. In fact, Clinton was also a Burkle employee, with the former president serving as advisor to UKIPA. He had a highly publicized falling out with Michael Ovitz, the former Hollywood power broker, several years ago, and came under the news media microscope in late 2000 for soliciting Mr. Clinton about a possible pardon for Michael Milken, the former junk bond king and convicted felon. But for the most part, Mr. Burkle, who sits on the board of Occidental Petroleum Corporation and Yahoo, has avoided engaging in high-profile business disputes. It should be noted that Occidental Petroleum was the business transformed by the infamous billionaire intelligence asset and the philanthropist Armand Hammer. Two things of note. One is Epstein's victim's lawyer David Bowies was central to the case against Michael Milken's Drexel Burnham Lambert, and the other Epstein victim's lawyer, Stanley Pottinger, was central to opposing Armand Hammer's Occidental Petroleum takeover of Mead Corporation. And another Epstein's victim's lawyer, Bradley Edwards, claimed that he thought both David Bowies and Stanley Pottinger were working for Epstein or the CIA or both. And even though Edwards himself expressed that in his book Relentless Pursuit, that's Relentless Bollocks, he still made Pottinger his business partner. Next up, Maya Roshan. On the 6th of February 2004, Daily News reported on the activities of our perverted consortium, stating, "A group of high-profile New Yorkers that failed in its recent attempt to buy New York Magazine is said to be pursuing other projects, including a possible bankrolling of editor and publisher Maya Roshan's Radar." There were only 2 issues of Radar magazine released in the initial launch of 2003, with tagline which read, "Pop, politics, scandal, style." Its founder, Maya Roshan, also had significant roles in political events concerning one of Epstein's closest allies. In 1994, the then editor of New York Magazine, Kurt Anderson, hired Roshan as deputy editor. Roshan produced the first post-impeachment interview with Monica Lewinsky for the New York Magazine and went on to work for the New York Times, 429, and Miami Herald and Harper's Bazaar, to name a few. Roshan eventually received $10 million from Epstein et al., and instead of restoring Radar to print, they planned to start the magazine as a website. One of the other investors in that deal is the last up on today's list, Mort Zuckerman. It took almost a year from the consortium's interest being registered for the plans to revive Radar to come to fruition. On the 11th of April 2005, the New York Times' Catherine K. Selly wrote, "It fell to earth last time in just 2 issues. That was in 2003 when it ran out of cash. Last October, Mortimer B. Zuckerman, the publishing and real estate mogul, and Jeffrey Epstein, the financier, stepped in with millions of dollars, reportedly as much as $25 million, to revive Radar after Mr. Zuckerman fell short in the bid to buy New York Magazine." Billionaire industrialist Mort Zuckerman was also previously in a relationship with CIA feminist Gloria Steinem, just after she finished her relationship with the aforementioned Epstein victim's lawyer, J. Stanley Pottinger, who was also Epstein's neighbor, and who shared an office with Jeffrey Epstein, and who ran guns with Jeffrey Epstein during Iran-Contra. Mortimer Benjamin Zuckerman didn't only buy into a media company with Jeffrey Epstein, he is also the owner and publisher of the New York Daily News, The Atlantic, US News and World Report, and Fast Company. Zuckerman also claimed to have written one of Barack Obama's speeches, which Obama's speechwriters denied, with Zuckerman later saying that he helped Obama via private conversations. Zuckerman is a longtime supporter of the Democratic Party, and Jeffrey Epstein once told New York Magazine that Mort Zuckerman would be amongst his favorite dinner guests. And there you have it. That was Epstein's Democratic Party Media Alliance, who were a mix of sinister Democratic Party funders, billionaire industrialists, and perverted plant pot spunk pioneers. You can find more Epstein lists on all platforms which allow it, and you can find my detailed, well-sourced investigative journalism on NEWSPASTE.com. Support me on Substack, Patreon, or buy me a coffee. I need your help. I've been Johnny Vedmore. Bye.